This is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Good morning. Welcome to Monday. Weekend is now over. Great weekend, though. I'm Ray Collins, 5 o'clock, 6th day of the month. And John, that extra hour of sleep, how'd that feel for you?
Oh, that was pretty nice, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That was a pretty nice thing. We're going to see over the course of the morning, I think, though, some fog out there, which is just a reminder that we are starting to get ourselves into fog season now. And in inland areas mostly, the visibility is reduced to about a quarter mile or less in certain locations. Not everywhere, but in certain places. And so the dense fog advisory posted until about 9 o'clock this morning. Now, as far as visibilities currently, they're not too terribly bad across the area, especially along the coastline. We've got 2.5 in Punta Gorda, but Venice and Sarasota both coming in at 10. Inland, the visibility is much less. Temperatures across the region, 67 Mayaca, 68 Arcadia, 69 in Inglewood, Longboat at 70, and Bradenton comes in at 67. Our forecast high today, after the fog burns off pretty quickly this morning, will be a warm and toasty 85 degrees. We have lots of sunshine in store for you and not much in the way of a rainfall chance. Complete forecast details coming up in just a few, Ray.
All right, John, talk to you soon. Thank you. Our top story, the latest on that Texas church shooting. A man dressed in black killed at least 26 worshipers and wounded 20 others at a church near San Antonio on Sunday morning. It is just the latest in a series of mass shootings that have plagued our country. ABC's Daniel Backus has the latest.
A small Texas town now mourning 26 of their neighbors, gunned down yesterday in the deadliest church shooting in modern U.S. history. It began shortly after 11:20 Sunday morning. A gunman walked into First Baptist Church in Sutherland Springs, Texas, and opened fire on the congregation. The tragedy prompting a massive response from first responders as well as residents of this small town.
The second we knew what was going on, we just ran over there to help.
Officials say the suspected gunman, Devin Kelly, walked into the church with an AR-15 style weapon and started shooting. Kelly was in the Air Force but was convicted in 2012 of child abuse. He served 1 year before being released in 2013. His bad conduct discharge and conviction should have prevented him from passing the background check required to purchase the gun. The youngest victim, just 5 years old. The oldest, 72. Among the dead, the pastor's 14-year-old daughter, Annabelle Renee Pomeroy. Local resident Johnny Lagendorf said Kelly exchanged gunfire with another man as he left the church.
The gentleman with the rifle came to my truck as the shooter took off and said that we had to get him, and so that's what I did.
Both men chased the suspect as he left the scene. A short time later, Kelly crashed his car and was found dead from a gunshot wound.
At this time, we don't know if it was a self-inflicted gunshot wound or if he was shot by our local resident.
President Trump said mental health, not guns, is to blame for the church shooting massacre, calling Devin Kelly a very deranged individual. Danya Backus, ABC News, Sutherland Springs, Texas.
After an attack in his home on Friday by a neighbor, Senator Rand Paul has more serious injuries than previously realized. A senior advisor to the Kentucky senator said he has 5 broken ribs and lung injuries. No word yet on a motive for the neighbor's attack. Paul told officers the man tackled him from behind and forced him to the ground. Assaulting a member of Congress is a federal crime. The FBI and U.S. Capitol Police are also investigating. Could Bernie Sanders have beaten Hillary Clinton in the Democratic primary last year? That's been a recent topic of discussion after the claim was made by former DNC chairperson Donna Brazile. Brazile said that Clinton effectively took over the committee early in the primaries, but a CNN analysis suggests that Sanders had little chance of winning from the start. Clinton won 3 of the first 4 contests and a massive lead in superdelegates. Brazile also added that she believes nothing illegal was done by the Clinton campaign. Former Congressman Anthony Weiner will set to start serving his sentence today. He'll face 21 months in prison after pleading guilty to sending obscene texts to a 15-year-old girl. After pleading guilty in the trial, Weiner said he has a sickness, end quote. He is the estranged husband of Hillary Clinton's wife, Huma Abedin, who filed for divorce in May. His sentence also includes 3 years of supervised release, at which point he'll have to register as a sex offender and also seek treatment. Happening today in Florida, Governor Rick Scott is expected to travel the state to push his ideas for a major tax cut for the next budget. The governor has cut taxes over 75 times in the past 7 years, saving nearly $8 billion for Florida families and businesses. The governor will make his first stop in Fort Myers this morning before going on to Central Florida and North Florida later on in the day. The president of the Florida Senate says an outside investigator will be hired to look into allegations that a powerful Republican, who is also running for governor, also groped and harassed women. 6 women say that Clearwater Senator Jack Latvala either touched them inappropriately or made demeaning comments about their bodies. Latvala is the chairman of the Senate Budget Committee. He denies the allegations and says he is being targeted because he is running for governor. Though their season might be over, the Orlando City Soccer Club held one more game, and it was for charity. The team faced off against the Puerto Rican national team, which all proceeds will go to the Hurricane Maria aid victims. The players' jerseys were auctioned off online to further help recovery efforts. And those in Puerto Rico are still without power or clean water. And for the record, Orlando won the game. Final score was 6-1. Sarasota County health officials are reporting an increase in mosquito-borne disease activity this year. Several sentinel chicken flocks have tested positive for West Nile virus, and that means the risk of transmission to humans has increased. Sarasota County mosquito control and health officials will continue surveillance and prevention efforts, but they advise people to protect themselves from mosquitoes and get rid of standing water around their homes. Those who have yet to file for disaster assistance after Hurricane Irma now have more time to do so. The Federal Emergency Management Agency extended today's deadline to the 24th. So applicants include government entities and certain private nonprofits. The money would go toward costs for emergency response, debris removal, and repairs. So far, the state has approved over 700,000 individual assistance applications. The total funding approved is nearly $900 million. The voter registration deadline for the Sarasota County special primary ends today. The special election will be held for the seat vacated by Alex Miller, who resigned months into her first term in the State House earlier this year. A special primary will be held December 5th, and the final general will be held February 13th for that seat. You can apply online to register at florida.gov or through any driver's license or tax collector's offices that issue Florida driver's licenses or ID cards. In Palmetto on last Saturday, a helping hand for our local heroes. It was another strong turnout for the 19th annual Manatee County Stand Down event. It's designed to provide basic services to homeless veterans and others in need. It included over 200 volunteers with organizations from the Suncoast and hundreds utilizing their help. Those who took part got a free meal thanks to the Salvation Army and assistance from a mobile career center, dental care, a flu shot, and 40 people even got a free bicycle as well. We asked volunteers what the local community can do to assist struggling veterans.
Helping with employment, that's one of the biggest problems that we have is not enough jobs and not enough affordable housing. And what we're trying to do is work towards what we call functional zero. So the number of veterans will be down to at least the number of beds that we have available, and we're getting really close to that in this community.
Sarasota and Manatee area transit services also waived bus fees for those who attended the event. And today, the State College of Florida will celebrate their veteran and active duty students with numerous tributes and giveaways that last through Thursday. Today's events include a free breakfast and lunch at 10:30, and both at the Sarasota and Manatee campuses. Veteran and active duty members will walk away with a $25 gift card to the SCF store, free aid with VA benefits, and even a cell phone battery backup. This is just part of a nearly week-long series of events to thank SCF students who are also in the armed services. 1,000 kids in need living in Manatee County will get a special gift for their holidays this year. A nonprofit in Minnesota gave 1,000 toys to the local Lions Club in Bradenton. The toys will be passed out through social workers and school nurses in Manatee County next month. All of the toys are handmade. Members of the Lions Club locally hope the toys will put a smile on kids' faces.
They're all handmade, and I believe one of the toys has, it's a roadster, and it has 42 parts. So it's wooden, handmade, 42 parts. These are tremendous toys. These actually are keepsake toys, so we hope the children enjoy them, but they can keep them for another generation too.
So the Minnesota-based TLC Toys chose kids in Fort Myers, Naples, and Bradenton to receive the toys since our area was hit by Hurricane Irma. Also on the Suncoast, a race like no other. Lots of smiles and a few tears of joys all over the Care to Try organization's inaugural race over the weekend. Able-bodied athletes and wheelchair athletes competed in a 5K race or a 1-mile dash on the streets of Lakewood Ranch. Hundreds of participants took part in the fundraiser for the local organization that helps all athletes get involved in physical fitness.
Well, I think it's wonderful. I really do. I think the fact that you can get out here, I've been listening to every time they go out to a race, and I've been very proud of them, what they do, and the fact that they wanted me to join them is an awesome idea, and I've just had a great time today.
Yeah, I had a nice time as well. I had a chance to be the master of ceremonies for the event. There's the able-bodied runners as well, hundreds of those. The winner finished in 17 minutes. 13-year-old Drake Burns of Venice. I think we have a picture of him we showed earlier. Drake Burns from Venice Middle School. He's one of the top finishers as well, 14-year-old boy. Great big smile on his face as he sat in his wheelchair and beamed up. Nice kid. There he is. Thank you for that, Jim. There's Drake Burns from Venice Middle School. Enjoyed meeting him and his mother today on Saturday. So a nice event to get folks out exercising, and of course Mother Nature cooperated as well.
Absolutely. It was a beautiful, beautiful weekend. Little in the way of any kind of rain anywhere across the state of Florida.
Good time of year, isn't it?
I think so.
Yeah.
It's my favorite time of year. And today's no exception. The problem today is we have a little bit of patchy fog out there. Could slow some of your morning commutes. So just be aware of that. Watch out for that. Otherwise, that should burn off pretty quickly. We'll have the complete forecast for you in a sec.
Also ahead, the president's trip to Asia continues today. We'll have a preview on the events today in Tokyo. And later in the hour, a look at a USF fundraiser that's hoping to change the lives of the school's students. Stay with us.
Here's something we bet you didn't know. Nearly half of all cancers can be prevented. That's right, half. Nearly 50%, mostly by making small everyday changes in your diet and controlling your weight, walking more, eating less, and eating foods that help you and your family to seriously reduce the risk of cancer. And of course, by not smoking. Visit the Cancer Prevention Together We Can website and get a free 30-day planner filled with tips, recipes, stats, and more about protecting your family. Go to prevent50.org.
So many possibilities worth exploring. Minnesota Flooring.
Looking for carpet? Look no further. Minnesota Flooring has Smart Strand carpet as low as $1.79 per square foot. Installed, no add-ons or extras. Unbelievable? Minnesota Flooring can have in-stock carpet installed in your home in 48 hours for as low as $1.99 per square foot. Don't miss these prices. Visit Minnesota Flooring today.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. We promise we're more than a dealership. We're a destination with a movie theater, massage room, aquarium, cafe, and more. We promise to give you top dollar for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. And if you do, we promise you the best deal. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
Let me introduce you to the ultimate Florida window. Do you feel safer with this or this? You'll be proud too.
Buy more, save more. Volume discounts on 4 or more windows.
I love taking care of my mom. It wasn't easy at first. She learned how to better communicate her needs.
And you learned how to not ignore yours.
I discovered how to make healthier meals.
And I discovered how much I enjoyed them.
Becoming a caregiver is a learning experience for everyone. Find articles, tips, and tools from experts and others who have been in your place. The Caregiving Resource Center at aarp.org/caregiving.
Now, your ABC 7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
A 69-degree air temperature. We have a dew point of 68. Northeast wind comes in at about 5. It's a very pleasant start to the morning, except for the fact that you do have some fog out there, and that could slow some of the morning commutes, particularly in inland areas, Wauchula, Ona, Arcadia. You could have some slow problems in patchy locations. Just be careful. It could come up on you pretty quickly this morning. Across the region, 68 degrees, Wauchula, Arcadia, 67 in Mayaca, 68 in Parrish, Bradenton at 67, so is Lakewood Ranch. Longboat Key comes in at 70, and then a little further to the south, 69 degrees in Venice and Inglewood and 68 degrees in Northport. So across the United States right now, we have a threat of severe weather through parts of the Ohio Valley, stretching back into areas of the deep south, all associated with a little area of low pressure running along a stalled frontal boundary. High pressure, however, for us is going to keep that front from advancing too far into this direction. This is going to be a very slow moving front. In fact, it'll take the better part of a week for it to get the southward motion to move through the state of Florida. This is basically going to stall out in place or kind of wag its tail and meander north and south across the region for the next couple of days. High pressure for us is the dominant weather feature. Mountain snows back to the west and inclement weather for the northeast with scattered showers and rain showers off and on throughout the day today. High pressure for us brings us that northeasterly wind flow, which we have enjoyed for about a week now. That northeasterly wind flow is a drier air and tends to support some bluer skies over the course of the day. So it should be another very nice day. Lots of sunshine helping to boost our afternoon temperatures up to about the 85-degree mark. And as far as moisture goes, well, there's a little sliver of moisture that's working its way through South Florida. That could produce a few more rain showers down there. Also some rain showers possibly over on the other coast from time to time, little spritzes, but nothing really heavy. Mostly sunny skies, warm afternoons, and a dry week ahead for the west coast of the state of Florida. Don't really see much to change that. Aloft, the air is very dry. That's what this tan colorization is here. And with that in place, you're just not going to see much in the way of any kind of rainfall chance today. At the surface, however, there is a little bit more moisture around, and that is what's helping to support the fog. So you've got that thin layer of surface moisture, and then you've got the drier air aloft. That's why you're really not seeing a whole lot in the way of rainfall across the state of Florida, that drier air aloft. But such is not the case where the moisture converges along that frontal boundary through parts of the Ohio Valley. Some big storms now moving through parts of West Virginia and Pennsylvania. Elsewhere back toward the west, everything's very quiet. Should be no problems if you're commuting or if you're traveling today. Not an issue. The frontal boundary will be, as I mentioned, kind of a focal point for showers for the next couple of days. But for us, that high pressure ridge is really going to be the name of the game, the driver for our weather over the next several days. So, great weather in store. As far as boating goes, nice northeast wind coming in at about 10 to 15. We'll have a light chop with 2-foot seas, and the forecast for the week ahead looks good, with daytime highs topping out in the mid-80s. Now, toward the end of the week, we'll have a series of fronts, weak fronts, minor fronts that will move through. They won't really drop our temperatures all that much, but they will produce slight chances of rain on Friday and Sunday. Ray?
Thank you, John. President Trump is in Tampa right now, in Japan right now. Earlier, he spoke about the tragedy at the Texas church near San Antonio. ABC's Karen Travers is in Tokyo.
President Trump's first comments today in Tokyo, a somber response to the news of another mass shooting.
This act of evil occurred as the victims and their families were in their place of sacred worship. We cannot put into words the pain and grief we all feel.
Unlike his immediate reaction to the terror attack in New York last week, there was no talk about policy changes or politics. Instead, the president issuing a call for unity.
But in dark times, and these are dark times, such as these, Americans do what they do best. We pull together.
The rest of the president's day, a mix of pomp and circumstance and diplomacy. A state call with the Emperor of Japan at the Imperial Palace. And a red carpet welcome at another palace, where President Trump and Prime Minister Abe spent the day in meetings. Before they got down to business, the two leaders fed some fish in a koi pond, at first sprinkling in a few spoonfuls, President Trump eventually giving up and dumping the rest of the box into the water. The president later meeting with families of Japanese citizens kidnapped by North Korea, calling it a tremendous disgrace.
We will work with Prime Minister Abe on trying to get them back to their loved ones.
At a press conference later with the Japanese Prime Minister, President Trump called the Texas church shooter a very deranged individual. He says he believes the issue here is mental health and not guns. And right now, it's too soon to talk about gun policies. Karen Travers, ABC News, traveling with the president in Tokyo.
Still ahead, merger talks between Sprint and T-Mobile have ended without a deal. We'll tell you why. And next half hour, a look at the mayor's Feed the Hungry program. We'll tell you how you can donate and where.
At Tidewell Hospice, we know it's never too late to say thank you to our military veterans. The Tidewell Honors Veterans Program has provided care to more than 13,000 military families since 2008. Tidewell volunteers help honor veterans through special pinning ceremonies that demonstrate our appreciation for the freedom our veterans fought to defend. If you know a veteran who can benefit from end-of-life care, call or visit tidewell.org today. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
This is an important medical announcement. Talcum powder products from some of the best-known brands have been linked to ovarian cancer. Any woman who has used a talcum powder product and has been diagnosed with ovarian cancer may be entitled to substantial compensation. Studies show that women with long-term use of talcum powder, including baby powder for feminine hygiene, can increase the risk of contracting ovarian cancer. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. This call is confidential, there's no cost, and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to women who should have been warned about the risks of ovarian cancer with long-term use of talcum powder. Call the Talcum Powder Hotline. If you or a loved one used talcum powder and were diagnosed or died from ovarian cancer, you must call now.
Call 800-570-7599, 800-570-7599.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
So many nice events this past weekend. I had a chance to check out the Dick Vitale Soft Court Tennis Classic out there at Lakewood Ranch. I took a picture of all the banners of the different colleges that were here this weekend to take part in this fundraiser for pediatric cancer research. You can see the USF Bulls there in the top left corner, the Gators, who did very well overall. Also colleges from Oklahoma State, Michigan, Virginia Tech, all across the country. The annual event in Lakewood Ranch. You can send your pictures this way. Also check out other pictures we took. I'm at Ray Collins, ABC7, within the Facebook page. Also, John Sculls, he has some great content as well from the world of science. So check those out when you get a chance. Also, to update your breaking news app, go to the App Store at WWSB or My Suncoast, and Android users, your version will actually update automatically. 5:24 right now. A possible merger between T-Mobile and Sprint has fallen through. Here's today's Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, talks are off the table for a T-Mobile and Sprint merger.
A combined company would have had 130 million subscribers. Meantime, Sprint announced a partnership with the country's fourth largest cable company, Altice, under its Optimum brand.
The deal allows Altice to provide mobile services through Sprint's network. Technology is proving to be an annoying mix on Broadway.
Actors say ringing phones and glowing screens are ruining shows. One infamous case, this man climbed up onto the stage to plug his cell phone into an outlet.
Unbelievable.
Actors say alcohol contributing to the bad behavior as more theaters sell booze to maximize profits. Just tacky. The country's top emoji, that'll make you smile and may even bring a tear to your eye.
So Apple says the face with tears of joy is actually #1 in this nation.
Yep, we use it all the time.
And beats the crying one.
Yeah.
Those are your Tech Bites.
Have a great day.
Tech Bites, brought to you by Roomba Floor Vacuum.
Make clean floors part of your everyday routine with Roomba from iRobot. Just press clean and Roomba gets to work. Roomba uses a patented dirt detect system that attacks dirt in high-traffic areas of your home. While two multi-surface brushes and power-lifting suction grab and remove everything from fine dust to large debris. Daily dirt doesn't stand a chance. You and Roomba from iRobot. Better together.
My digestive system used to make me feel sluggish, but now I take Metamucil every day. It traps and removes the waste that weighs me down, so I feel lighter. Try Metamucil and begin to feel what lighter feels like.
Nutro. Non-GMO ingredients, no artificial flavors. All the energy dogs need and nothing they don't. Nutro. Feed clean.
Enjoy fine wine, craft beer, and delicious foods, all while supporting a great cause at the 16th Annual Suncoast Food and Wine Festival presented by Publix, Saturday, November 11th from 1 to 4 p.m. at the Sarasota Polo Club. Taste wines from around the world and sample cuisine from the area's finest restaurants. All proceeds benefit a variety of local charities and Rotary Club projects. For tickets and information, visit suncoastfoodandwinefest.com.
Attention type 2 diabetics. The FDA warns of an increased risk of amputation associated with certain diabetes medications. If you took the diabetes medications Invokana or Invokamet and then suffered an amputation or one of these other serious injuries, call the Rely On group right now. If you've suffered amputation or any of these injuries after taking your diabetes medication, call the Rely On group today. You may be entitled to substantial financial compensation. The FDA has recently warned about an increased risk of leg and foot amputations associated with the use of certain diabetic medications such as Invokana and Invokamet. If you or a loved one took the diabetes medications Invokana or Invokamet and then suffered an amputation, ketoacidosis, kidney failure, or even death, call the Rely On group now. We are here to help you get the justice you deserve. You may be entitled to substantial financial compensation. Call 800-355-8205. That's 800-355-8205.
SRQ Performance Parts provides parts and accessories from over 300 manufacturers, so you can get that new manifold, carburetor, gasket, bolt kit, or nitrous oxide system fast. We'll help you beat the competition. Call or visit SRQ Performance Parts online today for all your high-performance parts and advice.
40 million. That's the number of free phones still available and the number of how many Americans can still get prescriptions free.
Free could be wonderful.
That's why I'm still working at 77 years old to pay off my prescriptions.
I needed to have a prescription filled and I had to leave because I couldn't afford it.
Call now and see what's available for you. Free prescriptions. Over 10 million people get prescriptions free, and the program has expanded so another 40 million can. Free dental. Over 15,000 dentists have provided over $330 million in free dental work. Free cell phones. 40 million free cell phones are still available with free minutes and more.
Free cell phone would change my life right now because it is something I cannot afford to get.
Medical supplies like back braces, knee braces, and diabetic supplies may be covered too. The free RX Plus hotline has saved callers over $12 million on their prescription costs. These free programs are now available to 40 million more people. Call now.
Enjoy some of the best Suncoast restaurants on me. Just go to mysuncoast.com/dining, sign up for the newsletter if you haven't already, and you can win a $50 gift card to a restaurant in our area. We'll pick a winner each week, so go on our website and sign up now.
Check out mysuncoast.com/dining, your guide to the foodie lifestyle.
This half hour on Good Morning Suncoast, hundreds of thousands of dollars raised over Sunday brunch. We'll show you which local college held a successful fundraiser. The annual Mayor's Feed the Hungry food drive begins another year this morning. And your chance to have a part of history in Manatee County. We'll go out on a limb and explain those stories and more right now on Good Morning Suncoast.
Live from the ABC 7 studios, this is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
And good morning, early risers. Glad you're back with us on a Monday morning, 5:30 right now. I'm Ray Collins, and John, I've got a science project for you. Moving the clocks felt better this morning when there was an alarm involved than yesterday.
Yeah, I think we kind of came to the conclusion that it's because it was easier to get to bed last night. So maybe we got a little more sleep than we normally would when we wait for that sun to set. You know, sun's setting now just after 5 o'clock. So
yeah,
it's a big difference for a lot of folks, I'm sure. You know, interestingly enough, the dense fog advisory that was issued across our area this morning has been extended out into Gulf waters because some of the data buoys, especially along Clearwater, have indicated that there is some fairly dense fog out there. So mariners, be aware of that. If you're going to be out there early this morning, there could be some dense fog in marine waters as well. And that fog might actually linger a bit longer than some of the other fog around. Now, basically, most of us are looking at some fairly decent conditions right now with visibilities at about 10 miles right along the coastline. But in those areas of orange that you see on this map, that's where visibility is down below a quarter mile. And so consequently, some pretty slow going in inland areas particularly. Across the region, temperatures generally in the upper 60s to near 70, and the forecast for today calls for a daytime high a little warmer than average, coming in the mid 80s. Normally we'd be hovering around the 80-degree mark, so that probably won't happen until later this work week into the beginning of the new work week. But for the next several days anyway, these warm afternoon temperatures will continue. Complete forecast coming up in a few. Ray?
All right, thank you, John. Checking first alert traffic now. Build up there on State Road 70 as you head westbound from the interstate, otherwise pretty clear in Manatee County. Farther south, Bee Ridge, what do you know? In the eastbound lane around Beneva or McIntosh, so be aware of that. And then our South County map shows us no real delays right now at 5:32 on your Monday morning. Our top local story this half hour, a major fundraiser on a local college campus. USF, 900 donors raised more than $300,000. Our Erica Jackson was there.
I was the first person to get out of even middle school.
Graduating from college has been a lifelong dream for Jamie Hernandez Carranza. The first in his family to continue past 7th grade, he's now just weeks away from accepting his biology degree from University of South Florida and graduating debt-free.
My scholarships have helped me greatly, not just because they helped fund my school, but because they were funding my school. I didn't have to work as many hours at my job to cover the costs of my education.
This allows them to get their college education with their work experience tied together.
USF President Judy Genschaft told nearly 900 donors at brunch on the Bay, 80% of their students who ask for financial aid receive some form of assistance. Board of Trustees member Anila Jain says scholarships, grants, and loans are especially helpful to first-generation college students.
I think a lot of those parents that I've worked with have always felt that they want a better life for their son or daughter. They may be working on jobs that they don't want their students.
A combined education at State College of Florida and USF Sarasota Manatee costed Hernandez Carranza all of his savings. Scholarships from USF and local hospitals helped him finish his degree. He believes the school's generosity will one day come full circle.
Because they remember who helped them out, they're going to feel a responsibility towards giving that same help back to other students in the same manner that they received help.
His success is also paving the way for other students, like his sister, who he expects will be the second person in his family to graduate from college.
I did make some mistakes and I learned from them, and I'm passing that advice on to her.
Erica Jackson, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Overall, the USF system is also celebrating nearly $500 million in grants and contracts for this year alone. The annual Mayor's Feed the Hungry program will kick off today for their 30th annual food drive. The program has passed out over 200 tons of food, along with $2 million of food gift cards to Hungry across the Suncoast the past 30 years. Their food collection lasts for the next week and a half. Food can be taken to several drop-off points today, including all Sarasota and Manatee County city halls and police stations. Other locations include Ed Smith Stadium and Chase Banks. Small businesses were in the spotlight in Parrish. The annual Small Business Expo included vendors showing off what makes them so unique. Every business at this expo was from Parrish, and that's why organizers say it's so important to show them support.
and the importance of having people out and know what you have to offer with all the development that's coming in. We've got houses, we've got a high school coming in, we now have a college coming in. The bridge just opened that links us to Lakewood Ranch. So we're trying to promote the businesses and give them a chance to shine.
Any proceeds from the expo will go to support the local nonprofit called Anthony Fowler Foundation, which helps families faced with tragedy. Leave the modern world behind and transport yourself to a different time. The Sarasota Medieval Festival underway for another year, from kings and queens to knights and others. Among the fair's show is jousting matches. We spoke with some of the full-contact jousters who told us why the sport is so appealing to them.
Well, you never know every time you come down the list what the hit's going to be like, or the reaction of the horse or the lance even. So it's just the variable for me. And any person, it doesn't matter, you know, I'm the newest guy. But any person, whether they've been doing it for 20 years or 6 months, you can come off your horse. So, you know, everybody has a chance to win.
The fair continues the next 2 weekends at the Sarasota Fairgrounds on Fruitville Road. In the wake of Hurricane Irma, two gumbo trees will be taken down today and tomorrow. One of the trees is the current American Forest's champion tree, it's the largest of its kind in the country. So visitor safety at the park was the main reason they're taking those trees down. The area around the trees have been roped off, and visitors are asked to respect the closure for safety reasons. The trees could fall at any moment. The park visitor center and surrounding areas will be closed throughout the tree removal process, which is expected to take until about 5 o'clock tomorrow. Now, if you want to preserve the legacy of the gumbo champion tree, you can actually get a branch. They'll give you a branch, a healthy branch, disease-free. That's until Wednesday at noon at no cost. Not a bad idea. Families in Northport now have 4 brand new multi-purpose fields at their disposal. Over the weekend, the city cut the ribbon at the new Butler Park on West Price Boulevard. The multi-purpose fields can be used for football, lacrosse, soccer, field hockey, or any other sport event. They'll be available for public use when the kids are not using them in the Youth Sports League. Some of the top college tennis players in the country were in Lakewood Ranch this past weekend for an annual tennis tournament. This is the annual Dick Vitale Clay Court Classic, the only soft court matches of the year for these tennis players. Besides from attracting some local players who came back to play for the hometown crowd, the Classic raises money for cancer research through the V Foundation. They've raised, in fact, over the past 8 years, $400,000 to support that cause. Players also say it's a nice break from their usual schedule.
This is the only tournament throughout the year that we play on clay, so this is a real reward for them. Many of them grow up on the clay, and so for them to come back after playing so much hard court during the year, this is a real reward.
We get this in college tennis, a lot of fans and stuff, but you don't get it a lot of times at just like a college tournament, so it's definitely a special event, and you know, I hope that it does well in the future as well.
As far as the winners in singles, University of Florida won both the men's and women's singles. UCF and Michigan won the women's and men's doubles, respectively. Great event. During an online selection show on Sunday, the Florida High School Athletic Association announced the official brackets for the 2017 high school football playoffs, and it's the first time teams were chosen through the FHSAA's new point system. 7 Suncoast teams have made it, and they'll play games starting Friday at 7:30 p.m. Now here's the schedule. Riverview and Venice at home. Manatee, Braden River, Palmetto all hit the road. Port Charlotte and Booker also on the road as 7 and 8 seeds in their respective regions. On to colleges now. The Miami Hurricanes are still undefeated after a primetime win on Saturday. They beat Virginia Tech 28-10 at home, and they'll now play Notre Dame this weekend. That should be good. The win moves them from 9 to 7 in the AP poll. The top college team in Florida now, Miami. Here's the top 5 overall. Ohio State is out. Wow. Oklahoma and Clemson back in. And don't forget, the College Football Playoff Committee won't release their rankings until tomorrow. A follow-up now to a search and rescue mission on Miami Beach. The Coast Guard has successfully found 50-year-old Eugene Russell. His wife said he was missing when he never returned home after boating on Saturday. Luckily, a passing boater saw him alone, waving his jacket. Turns out he had engine trouble. An airplane crew was deployed and Russell was found uninjured and returned home safely. Excuse me. 2 shark fishermen are back on land after their boat sank off Pinellas County. Ryan Hagler says he and his friend Chris Leith were taking part in a fishing tournament early Friday when their boat began taking on water. Before help arrived, the men wound up in the water. A Pinellas County Sheriff's helicopter crew spotted them about 3:20 a.m. They had some hypothermia issues, but are expected to overall be okay. Very frightening moments out there.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
That's a scary thing. We are looking at some pleasant weather today. A little bit of fog out there. Watch for that. If you have a marine interest, to be aware that we have some fog along the coastline that could linger a bit longer than the fog in inland areas. Otherwise, another nice day on tap for us. We'll talk about that in a sec.
Fishermen love John Scalzi.
It's a good day to be a fisherman.
Good. All right. First alert traffic also ahead. And despite a cancer diagnosis, a little boy from Maine is having to start Christmas early this year. We'll tell you why in Health Smart.
What to do when your heating or air conditioning needs service or, heaven forbid, replacement? Call Air Now today. We've been serving Sarasota and Manatee counties since 1946. We offer $49.95 tune-ups, lease or finance options, and remember, service today or it's free.
During the past 10 years, Tidewell Hospice volunteers have provided more than 1 million hours of service. They sit with patients, giving caregivers a break. They work in offices. They take their furry friends on pet therapy visits. They even clown around. Every task performed by a volunteer makes a difference in the lives of our patients and their families. Join Tidewell's volunteer team. They're truly 1 in a million. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help with Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sunny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
Hi, I'm Joan London with A Place for Mom. Over the years, we've helped thousands of families find senior care, and today's senior living communities have never been better. With amazing amenities like movie theaters, exercise rooms and swimming pools, public cafes, bars and bistros, even pet care services. And nobody understands your options like the advisors at A Place for Mom. These are local expert advisors that will partner with you to find the perfect place and determine the right level of care, whether that's just a helping hand or full-time memory care. Best of all, it's a free service. Call today. A Place for Mom. You know your family, we know senior living. Together, we'll make the right choice.
Call A Place for Mom right now to get our free ebook on financing senior care, as well as a free referral for senior living communities in your area. Call 1-800-290-0352. That's 1-800-290-0352.
If you're only hungry for a slice of apple pie, why buy the whole pie? And you certainly wouldn't want to pay for an all-you-can-eat buffet. So if you don't use your cell phone that much, why get charged for a plan that's too big, or even an unlimited plan? Luckily, there's still a wireless company that shares your values. Welcome to Consumer Cellular. Our average customer pays about $25 a month for everything they need. Many pay even less, as plans start at just $15 a month. You'll get a straightforward bill that's easy to understand with no surprises and all the attention you deserve from our friendly customer service team. No wonder Consumer Cellular has received the J.D. Power Award for highest customer service 3 times in a row. Plus, if you're an AARP member, you'll receive special discounts. It's easy to switch. You can even keep your phone and your number. So stop paying for more than you need and start your 30-day risk-free trial today. Call 800-457-2317. Go online or visit a Target store today.
We're still in hurricane season. Storms can pop up at a moment's notice. Sometimes it's just rain. Sometimes it's much worse. When severe weather strikes, trust ABC 7 First Alert Weather. We're here for you. Now your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
A 69-degree air temperature. We have fairly clear skies. A dew point coming in at 68. So temperature and dew point are pretty close together, and that's the reason we have such high relative humidity and fog across the area. Winds are out of the northeast at about 5. Light wind flow, fairly clear skies, a lot of surface moisture, but not so much moisture aloft. That is the perfect setup for giving us this fog, especially in inland areas. 68 degrees in Wauchula, Arcadia, Myakka coming in at 67. So is Parrish, Bradenton, Lakewood Ranch. Northport comes in at 68 and Inglewood at 69, Venice at 68, and Longboat Key comes in at 70. So the fog situation across the region is pretty widespread. It encompasses a lot of the spine of the state and some of the coastal waters as well. We don't have a whole lot of rain chance for us, but boy, that's not true across the Ohio Valley and into the deep south. Big showers and thunderstorms there. Of course, we had severe weather over the weekend. That whole frontal boundary, really not going to move all that much. So it looks like it's poised to really move right through the state of Florida. And it will eventually in some altered form. But it'll take a good solid week for that to happen, at least the work week, before it actually gets enough of a push to move all the way through the center of the state. For us, high pressure remains the dominant feature, the major driver in our weather over the next several days, providing us with this northeasterly wind flow, which is a drier airflow for us, lower relative humidity airflow. Now, during the morning hours, when the temperatures fall, then you get that chance of some patchy fog around because of a very thin layer of surface moisture. But aloft, the air is very, very dry and will really only support blue skies and not much in the way of rainfall. Sunny skies, warm afternoons, and then a fairly dry week ahead. We do have two fronts. This one to our north will finally come through here on Friday, and then we'll get a second front that comes through on Sunday. Both of those will support small rain chances. Drier air aloft, indicated here by the tan colorization, is what will limit our rain showers today. Not much going on now in terms of rainfall, and if you're traveling today, Cincinnati, parts of Pittsburgh, maybe down toward Memphis, may see some airport delays because of inclement weather. Our future forecast shows, well, not a lot of activity here for us. We have maybe a few showers over on the other coast, but that's really about it. Otherwise, most of the stuff is located to the north. That's where the best chance of thunderstorm activity is, along that frontal boundary that I just showed you. While across the state of Florida, yeah, I'm not going to see any thunderstorms today. Well, the hurricane season isn't over. Tropical Depression 19 has formed on a forecast track that carries it out into open waters, really only a bother to shipping lanes out here in the open Atlantic. But still, of note, it may eventually move off toward areas of the United Kingdom. We'll see how that actually takes place as we progress through time. No threat to the United States and certainly not to Florida, though. Northeast wind coming in at about 10 to 15 today. We will look for a pretty decent afternoon with daytime highs warmer than average, coming in at about 85. No chance of rain. And again, the next chance of rains, or only small chances, will be with two fronts that move through on Friday and Sunday. And both of those fronts really only serve to drop our temperatures a couple of degrees. Back to you, Ray.
All right, thank you, John. Checking traffic right now. University making the news here for a change. Usually we talk about State Road 70. Today, University has some blips there as you get away from 301 around Lockwood Ridge. Otherwise, pretty clear right now in Manatee County. The Bayfront in the northbound lane as you get off 301 there and pass Osprey and Orange and Coconut. You'll see that issue there. And South County all clear at 5:48 on your Monday morning. Christmas is still 6 weeks away, but a little boy with cancer in Maine is going to celebrate a little earlier this year, and he has good reason, as we hear from reporter Tyler Ketterett.
Jacob Thompson has been fighting cancer for nearly half of his young life.
Diagnosed in February of 2014. Long, hard road of treatment, radiation, chemo.
Words no 9-year-old should ever be familiar with. That fight has taken quite a toll on Jacob. His cancer has reached stage 4. Now in a hospital room at the Barbara Bush Children's Hospital, his family is celebrating the holidays early this year.
Just, you know, just that little moment to make him happy and just to make his day.
And Jacob has a simple request. Homemade cards from anyone who can spare a little holiday cheer to make this Christmas his last, a special one. It started with one card from a friend. Since then, Jacob's wish has snowballed.
Cutting board.
His room quickly filling with holiday mail from across the country and beyond.
It's neat to hear that cards are coming in from all over the world. Denmark, Sweden, Antarctica, the UK.
Speaking of the Antarctic, Jacob's family says he's a big fan of penguins. They're his distraction during this difficult and unfair journey.
It's just been a blessing for him, that, you know, a comfort for him for, you know, it makes the appointments and the treatments that much more comfortable for him.
With each card, message, and gift, a reminder that Jacob is not alone for his Christmas in November.
I like the festiveness. It's making me smile right now, and seeing him smile and be happy. It's just been a blessing that, you know, it fills my heart with such joy to see him happy like this.
And that smile,
thank you.
That's the ultimate gift.
Made in Maine.
That is about as sad as it gets. Innocent little boy like that. It's a very sad story. 10 to 6 right now. Still had your top local news headlines. And on the other side of the spectrum, this flight attendant has been in the air for a long time. We'll tell you how long she's been flying. And we'll tell you what new rule she actually likes the most after this.
You studied hard, went to college, and achieved your dream, but it turned into a financial nightmare. If you have federal student loans and you'd like to reduce your payments, get more time, or have your loans completely eliminated, then we have good news. With one call to Student Loan Relief Services, you can find support and guidance. We've already helped thousands of people, and we can help you too. If you have $10,000 or more in federal student loans, you can qualify for payment extensions, payment reductions, or you may qualify to have your federal student loan completely forgiven. Call Student Loan Relief Services now to find out about your options. Take control of your finances and get out from under this burden. One of our student loan experts has the answers to your questions and great solutions to ease your financial burden. We're here for you. Call Student Loan Relief Services now.
Call 800-759-0203, 800-759-0203.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Are you currently on Medicare? In other words, do you carry the red, white, and blue Medicare card? If so, are you suffering from chronic back pain? If you answered yes, you may be eligible for a pain-relieving back brace covered by Medicare at little to no cost, shipped directly to your home for free. These medical-grade back braces are ideal for lower back pain, arthritis, spinal disorders, and other chronic back problems. Will you qualify for a medical-grade back brace?
Call Back Brace America at 1-800-683-9262.
Let me introduce you to the ultimate Florida window. Do you feel safer with this or this? You'll be proud too.
Buy more, save more. Volume discounts on 4 or more windows.
For the last decade, S&S Motorsports of Sarasota has built custom high-performance vehicles for demanding clients worldwide. They're now bringing their 50-plus years of combined build expertise to the parts business. SRQ Performance Parts is your one-stop shop for all your performance parts and accessories.
Are you a soccer mom or dad? Regardless of their age or experience level, when your kids play soccer or any other sport, there's one person on the sideline who is key to help recognize and seek medical care for sports-related concussion. It's you. You need to know the signs and symptoms of concussion, and you need to act if you think your child has been injured. Remember, when in doubt, sit them out. To learn more, go to cdc.gov/concussion. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004.
There's a pretty shot of the Ringling Causeway off in the distance. You've got the Ritz-Carlton there on the left, as well as the Westin now, and the View, and also on the right, the Renaissance Alinari. Looking over the Rosemary District, enjoyed that beautiful signature span that links us to Lido Key. Welcome back. 5:54 right now. Checking top headlines down the Suncoast. A major fundraiser on the local campus of USF. 900 donors raised more than $300,000 yesterday. The annual Mayor's Feed the Hungry program kicked off their 30th annual food drive. Over the years, the program has passed out over 200 tons of food, along with over $2 million worth of food gift cards to hungry families across the Suncoast. And today, State College of Florida will celebrate their veteran and active duty students with several tributes and giveaways that'll last through the week. Veterans Day, of course, is this Saturday. Speaking of veterans, one flight attendant is marking a special anniversary, 60 years in the air. Betty Nash, the most experienced flight attendant in the world. She doesn't miss a lot of the old standards, like meeting certain height and weight requirements. Also doesn't miss the days of in-flight smoking. Millions of miles later, she still flies her D.C. to Boston route several times a week, and she has no plans to clip her wings anytime soon. Boy, I bet she's got that opening monologue memorized by now.
Don't you think?
Oh.
I wonder what airline she works for.
I wonder, boy, she's seen some changes.
80, I mean, she's got to be at least 80, right?
Yeah, I think so. 60 years in the business.
Yeah, wow, that's pretty impressive.
I still think about the days of smoking on flights.
Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing, right?
And the no smoking sections, as if it wouldn't waft over to you anyway.
I know.
That's all right. We'll have more on John's forecast, local traffic, and more local news after this. Good morning. Glad you're with us.